Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman, CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. All the pertinent data will be down below this video. It's a very important video. We have three special guests here today, and the title of this video is QA expert Daryl Guberman and Boeing shareholder warns insider Boeing shareholders about quality. Yes, we have Mr. Ted Colbert. Mr. Ted Colbert is here. He is the Executive Vice President and Chief Executive Officer of Defense, Space, and Security, the Boeing Company, and he is the Chair of the Aerospace Industries Association, AIA, and they sit on the American National Standards Institute Board. Yes, they do. Right over by Boeing, right over by the IAQG, International Aerospace Quality Group, over by SAE, the Society for Automotive Engineers that handle all the AS9100 technical documents. Yes, the Society of Automotive Engineers. You have this gentleman here, and he has 54,846 shares. The next one is Leanne Carrot, President and CEO of Boeing Defense Space Securities. She has 50,000+ shares of stock as well. And you have also Timothy Keaton, Executive VP of Government Operations. He has 80,000 shares of stock. What I like to know, ladies and gentlemen, let me hold all of you up if I can. Let me hold all of you up. Where were you when Boeing was made an FAA regulator in 2009? Where were you when Boeing relinquished their supplier auditing to a certificate for AS9100? That's what I like to know. As a shareholder, as I am a shareholder as well, not with the quantities of shares that these three have, but quantity nevertheless, we are part and parcel owner of a piece of Boeing, whether it's small or whether it's large like these three. We're going to go into this real quick. We're not going to go into the whole mess about Boeing's affiliations, everything else. You will find those right below this video in the description. The first thing I'd like to inform you is that we have the supplier bulletin that came out in 2002, which basically states that if you are AS9100 certified, accredited by ANSI/ANAB, the American National Standards Institute, and the American National Crediting Board. They got together in 2018. They are underwriters for the International Accreditation Forum located in Delaware, incorporated in Delaware, which is a repository for both national and international accreditation bodies. Those bodies are equivalent to accreditation as ANSI/ANAB. ANSI/ANAB, again, are underwriters, not just for the IAF, but also for ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation in Australia. On Boeing's portal, it states that you must be ANSI/ANAB accredited. On the supplier bulletin, it states that you must be ANSI/ANAB accredited. And to make matters worse, Boeing sits on ANSI/ANAB's board. And here we go. Let me show it to you. And here we go. And they sit over by the FAA. And I have a question for those three, for Ted, for Leanne, and for Timothy. Let me just ask a question. How can one regulator watch over another regulator? That's what I like to know. So we're going to continue. So what this says, this procurement bulletin basically says, send in your AS9100 certificate, send in your parts, and Boeing doesn't have to do any on-site audits for over 22 years. Now, where were you talking about, all this mess? Talking about, where were you? Did you say that's wrong? We should keep the inspection going out to the supplier? I guess not. So we're going to continue on. In 2009, you have this. 2009, basically, the FAA made Boeing a regulator. So where were you three collecting your shares? I'm a shareholder, and I find this to be very offensive in the fact that when you talk about the MCAS system that killed 200-300 people on, combined total on those aircraft, Ethiopian Air and Malaya, and also Indonesian Air. You've got a problem going on. And this defines the fact that Boeing didn't have to tell the FAA anything. Maybe, hold on a sec. Timothy, are you Are you guys smiling because of that? You can be quiet about it? Look, you're all smiling in the picture. What's going on here? Well, you have 2 aircraft that went down, and Boeing didn't have to tell the FAA anything because they're an FAA regulator. I'm going to read this to you. FAA grants Boeing more autonomy in 2009. The FAA increased the authority of Boeing's commercial airplanes division to self-certify its own aircraft. And the new system allows Boeing employees to perform tasks on behalf of the FAA. So basically, the CEO, Dennis Muhlenberg, and also now David Calhoun, who's stepping down, they are administrators of the FAA. By them allowing the employees to be FAA representatives, then that makes the CEO an FAA administrator. It allows Boeing employees to perform tasks on behalf of the FAA that include oversight of testing and product standards, and here goes MCAS, along with the certification of aircraft technologies. There's the MCAS, and new aircraft designs. So you have a situation that is very problematic with me being a shareholder and you being a shareholder too. What makes it worse is that I'm the outsider having a piece of the company. All 3 of you are insiders and said nothing about this. So what is this telling us about you 3 large shareholders? That you are not even doing it for your own pocket. I have no clue what's going on. But we wanted to just expose this right now. We will be getting back to each one of you independently, and we will show you the mess that this is really, accruing into. Boeing skipped quality processes. Most importantly, they got fined most recently with their V-22 Boeing composite facility. I'm a composites guy. My background is composites. We will read you our background so that this way you have a better understanding of where we are and what we do. And here it is. I have a BS degree in business management. I want to get this through to you, but this is a brief. You'll find all the description, right in the description, you'll find all the articles. I have a BS degree in management. I have 5 technical diplomas from the American Society of Materials Engineering Institute. That comprised a 10 certificate program that I had to gel down, homogenize down into those 5 diplomas. The excellent course of study at the American Society for Metals and Materials Engineering Institute out of Ohio. First course, aluminum and its alloys, corrosion, composites 1, the basics, composites 2, material selection applications, principles of metallography, titanium and its alloys, principles of failure analysis, fundamentals of non-destructive testing, welding inspection, quality control, mechanical testing of metals. They broke down, those 10 broke down to mechanical testing of metals, composite engineering technology, non-ferrous metallurgy, testing and inspection, welding metallurgy, and applied general metallurgy. The next one is from FlexCon in Worcester, Mass., a diploma in UV cured and water-based materials. The next is North Atlantic NDT certified penetrant level 2. The next is a food certificate protection, City of New York. The next is Hardcore Learning, Scranton, PA, level 1 and 2 plastics, film sheets, and laminates and foams, certificate in plastic adhesive and coatings, certificate in industrial plastics, Constep, Rocky Hill, Lean Awareness and Kaizen Training, Clean Harbors for hazardous waste handling, International Association of Plastic Distributors, Plastics 1 and 2, and Rensselaer Polytechnical Institute, Hartford, Connecticut, Certificate in Quality Management. So let's go back one last time about the Bell Boeing Composite Facility. $8.1 million, the DOJ fined Boeing. I find that bad because I'm a shareholder. I don't know whether you've got so many shares you don't give a damn, well, I guess, whether they get fined or not. That's a problem. It's a problem with me on the outside. You're on the inside, so that makes that's worse for you because you're part and parcel of the possible problem with the quality and everything else. The Bell Boeing Composite Facility got fined. I'm a composites guy. That's part of my background with non-ferrous metals, aluminum, titanium alloys. And the most important part about composites is time, temperature, and pressure. If you don't have that, if one of those are off, and they fudged between 2007 and 2018, that's even worse. They also had an issue with fudging documentation on materials that went into the aircraft. And we do have that, and we will show it to you right over here. We don't make this stuff up. We have a ton of information. And I just find it very poor that I'm a shareholder, that I'm part and parcel ownership of that company. But what makes me important is I'm on the outside looking in at you, Timothy, looking at you, Leanne, and of course, looking at you, Ted. I find it in poor taste that you have a lot of shares there, but it's a problem. But I'm going to read this to you, all three of you. I think you need it. I think it's very important. But actually, I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to read this as yet. Not at this video, not at this juncture. But I will say this. The truth will set you free, Timothy, Leanne, and also Ted, but not until it is finished with you. 203-556-1493 or Daryl, DARYLTQRS @yahoo.com. And as a shareholder, I must tell you one last saying from Thomas Paine, because I don't know whether this fits you or not. Maybe it does, but we've got problems here. We've got Mr. Timothy, Miss Leanne, and Mr. Ted. So it is impossible to comprehend the moral mischief, if I may so express it, that mental lying has produced in our society when a man or woman has so far corrupted and prostituted the chastity of their mind as to subscribe their professional beliefs to things they do not believe. They have prepared themselves the commission for every other crime. And that was from Thomas Paine. And I'm going to leave it here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a shareholder. Those three are massive shareholders, yet they are in the company and they've been there a long time. And that is a problem when you have these quality deficiencies escaping the doors and they're still smiling. And that to me is absolutely abominable as a shareholder. I put my CV in at Boeing. I think you deserve a guy like me to roll up his sleeves and get it going, because your former CEO, David Calhoun, didn't even know what an escape was. And an escape, ladies and gentlemen, is no more than a rejection. He should have said that. Instead, he went, oh my God. That's why he gets paid the big bucks, because he's like a punching clown. I hope the next one isn't a clown, because you know something? The next one should be me. I should be the CEO of Boeing, because if you think 80,000 shares is a lot, you know something? You may be a lot, but when you have the shares that are dropping in share price, that's a problem. But with that type of quantity, he's still a millionaire. What are you going to do? He doesn't care. 203-556-1493 or Daryl, DARYLTQRS @yahoo.com. I thank you.